긴 경기장 도시형.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for game number 5 between NSHoSeo and Dignitas. NSHoSeo's representative is Tassadar, down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Shakur's Plateau. He is our red Protoss player. And his opponent in the bottom left, sporting now the teal trunks, that is our teal Terran player dignitas.SeleCT, who has won 2 games in a row against Sage and then Freaky, and is looking pretty darn good here.
Yeah, no kidding. But can he defeat his old Code A nemesis Tassadar? That's the question. I love that this is a Code A rematch. I have a feeling, I saw the match and I'm like, I know these guys have played before, and I know it's been a Code A. But yeah, the very last Code A that SeleCT was in.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the matchup right here. These two guys that resulted in SeleCT getting knocked out of the GSL.
Well, we'll hope to see SeleCT back there as well, so maybe he'll be competing again. But, you know, he's obviously looking like he's in form. There was a while there after the BlizzCon Invitational, the North American Battleground Invitational, which, of course, he did extremely well in. And, you know, afterwards, you know, had a little bit of a dip for a while, didn't play in a ton of leagues, things like that, and then has just come back super strong since his time in Korea recently.
Big shout out to Josh Shaw, who just brought me a water.
Oh, that is A+ staff here at the IPL, guys. We love you all. You all are amazing.
It's awesome.
And it looks like SeleCT is going to bypass gas this go-round and move into 1-Rank's gasless FE. We saw this on Antigua Shipyard as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I'm really curious to see what SeleCT is going to do. I mean, obviously, it's going to be, like you just mentioned, a 1-Rank's gasless expand, but there's a lot you can do out of that. And that's kind of where we're going to find out. That was, like, the worst, like,
it's warm in here, guys.
I've ever done. I don't know.
Give us some credit. It's warm in here. No, that's okay. I understand.
But yeah, so, all right. So that's what it's going to be. I was thinking about something else, because I was actually thinking about a stupid build that I like to do on this map. It's definitely not a build that would work in pro play. It's only just a lower league troll build, basically.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Maybe I'll do a video on it sometime.
Second gas coming up now for Tassadar. On that time, that suggests nothing unusual, just some sort of a gateway expand build. Looks like this old Probu is going to fall down here in just a second.
Yep.
Let's see where SeleCT builds that expansion, if it's going to be on the low ground or somewhere else.
Yep, could be there. And, yeah, so Tassadar sees that there's no gas, so he has, of course, a pretty good idea of what SeleCT is going to do, unless we're going back to beta and SeleCT is going to throw down 5 more barracks right after the probe leaves.
Oh, man.
Those were the days.
The good old 6 racks SCV push.
Yep, that's right. Oh, why even bring SCVs, man? You've got 6 barracks.
Well, I mean, it depends on how, like, what level of the bit-by-bit scale you want to go to.
That was a great build for Kulas Ravine.
Oh, my God. Oh, Blink Stalkers on that map.
The
anyway.
good old days, yeah.
So, let's see here. Looks like Tassadar has a couple of Stalkers poking out now and has just about enough money saved up for an expansion.
Yep.
And which should be theoretically popping out here in just a second. There's the 400. And there's the expansion.
Nexus time.
Okay. What time is it?
It's Nexus time, kids.
That's
so 2 more barracks going up right now for SeleCT going into that very, very normal 3 barracks with the 2 gas. You know, we're going to see a very similar build to what we saw him do last time. Just very solid, standard Terran versus Protoss. And that's kind of not where SeleCT really shows his stuff. I mean, he plays very standard in his builds most times. He really shows off what makes him SeleCT when he starts to actually move the units around the field. And you get to see the great decision-making and things like that he has.
Like we saw in that last game with those Hellions and the drops and the aggression, and it just didn't end. Oh, my God. I seriously thought he was going to stop it 4 separate times. Yeah. And then he came back for another pass and ended up killing 23 drones. It was so good.
You know, if we see Ghost play this game, too, you'll get to see what amazing Ghost play
I hope
he
we
does
actually
have.
get to see that. That's fun to watch.
Little Marine push coming out. You can kind of, you know, if you do that 1-Rank's expand, you can get a little group of Marines to kind of move around the map with a little bit, kind of push back their Stalkers. It's kind of an answer to that. You know, I mean, if they don't poke by the time you get that many Marines out, you can kind of push out a little bit and make them pull back.
Looks like this is actually an identical build to what he did on Antigua Shipyard. Engineering Bay at exactly the same time with that first tech lab coming up, and then he moves into Factory after he started his first couple of upgrades.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. I like the early engineering bay, too. I mean, there's always been, runaway Stalkers. There's always been a little bit of debate on that. You know, it's like, do you need it? If you not going for the early upgrades. Obviously, if you are, it's good. But
Sure.
wow, you can really see how much you can bully with those Marines, too.
Yeah, definitely. Select pushing this a little bit farther than I had even anticipated. And there's Guardian Shield, and those Marines no longer stand a chance. Good force fields as well, trapping those off. If the Marines, are they going to get one probe kill? Yeah, but that was really all. No, not worth it at all.
Yeah, really over pursuing. I mean, with those Marines, you just want to push the Stalkers back. You don't want to actually like go up the ramp and stuff like that a lot of times. I think maybe Select thought he was catching his opponent teching a little bit more than normal, but nope, that was not the case.
Yep. All right, so 3 more gateways coming up now. So a marked difference from his teammate Sage's build on Antigua Shipyard, because he decided to go into 3-gate robo with Twilight Council. This time it's just straight up 6-gate. No forges, no upgrades, nothing. Yeah, just straight up 6-gate.
With the amount of sentries too. Oh, and that forward pylon really shows it here that Tassadar wants to do one of those heavy, kind of big, beefy 6-gate pushes to try to break the front of the Terran base. You know, now that Select knows about the forward pylon and everything, it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to make it work, but he's going to try it anyway.
And we'll see if Select has what it takes to defend here, running all of his units inside of bunkers, and I'm sure he'll be ready to pull some units off of the line here in just a second. That is a lot of sentries. They are starting to accumulate quite a bit of energy as well.
Yep.
There's a bunch of Zealots warping in. Guys, we're going to have a big attack here. Even during that, though, Select was actually teching up quite a bit. Stim is not finished, +1 is not finished, and this attack is going to hit right now.
It's going to be pretty good timing here. The SCV is already off the line, but if the force fields are good, it's not going to matter, and there you go. The bunkers are going to die really, really fast. Not a lot of Zealots, though.
No.
He's got to keep those sentries alive, but I don't know. Select taking a lot of damage here. The good old classic 6-gate is so hard to stop sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. Select did take quite a bit of damage, but he's going to restart this wall as quick as possible right now. That poor Marine is trapped in the open. It looks like these Zealots are going to push through for another attack here in just a second. Not a lot on the field for Select. We do have a medevac coming up as well, but here comes round 2. Tassadar really wants to just drive it home now.
Yep. Focuses one of the SCVs building the bunkers, more force fields, trapping some of the Marines against the Zealots.
Force fields.
Actually, absolutely.
Yeah, very nice job knowing exactly when his Zealots would die as well, but they could take out every single Marine that was sitting in that group, and this base just may be forfeit right now. Looks like we do have that medevac just about finished up. We'll see if he does some sort of a counter drop, or if that's just going to be used right now just to heal up some units and make a big defense. There's another Guardian Shield.
Yep, it looks like Tassadar is going to go all the way to the main even. Very, very bold move by Tassadar, but does he have enough to do it? I don't think he can take down that supply depot.
No, neither do I. And Select actually holds up at the top. He is supply blocked. He's down in supply right now, and his opponent will have an effective contain until he can get out enough units to drive back that force. Oh, wow, Select actually going to go for it right now. We'll see if that's a mistake or not. Ooh, doesn't get the cancel on the bunker.
Yeah, I mean, Tassadar's build, I mean, the 6-gate is good for breaking the natural. And on a lot of maps, if you break the natural, you've basically won. On this map, it's a little bit different because you've got that high ground as well.
Sure.
But I don't know. We'll see. Select is in dire straits right now. I would imagine he's got to try some sort of counter drop once his next couple medevacs come out.
I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I think that's right. So we'll see. He's got to pull a few more SCVs off the line right now. He hasn't done it quite yet. He's actually stimmed up everything. That's actually really effective because this medevac has been overtaxed.
Oh, no. Whoops. Whoops, losing the medevac. That doesn't help.
No, that's no good.
He's got 2 more popping up right now, but...
Yes, but still, having that third one there and just the flexibility of being able to drop if he wants to. Ooh, he's going to move back, but Tassadar's actually moving back home right away, and it looks like he is prepared for the possibility of a drop.
Yeah, Tassadar's doing this really intelligently. He's like, all right, I'm going to pull back, but I know that's when you're probably going to drop me, so I'm going to have Stalkers there ready for it. And Select's going to need to turn right around when he sees this. He might still try to drop, but...
Oh, my God. It looks like he's going to. Nice shot by Tassadar to go right after one of the medevacs. A bunch of units now stimming up, and he's got a lot of units back at home as well. So Tassadar is going to lose a little bit here, but once he starts reinforcing, it's going to be a lot harder for this to do any work. Nice job, though, going after a couple of the sentries. 3 have fallen. Is he going to get a 4th? No. Rest of the units go down.
Yeah, so that could have gone better for Tassadar, but Select... was pushed out rather easily here. Now a blink on the way for our Protoss player. And he's a little bit ahead in supply, but bigger, you know, the bigger thing to talk about is the economy lead that he's got right now. What's the SCV count?
Let's see. It is 41 to 35 right now. To 37. Well, yeah, with 2 mules, though, Select is going to be close in economy. Big thing, though, is we finally have our forges coming up and a dark shrine. Where are you at? There it is. Okay, so a Dark Shrine following this up. No missile turrets up at the front quite yet, but there is an engineering bay in place, so Select could move into that here in just a bit.
I think the Dark Shrine is a really smart move by Tassadar. Select is going to be using all his energy on mules. He's going to need that economy. Like you mentioned, with the mules, he can keep up in economy, but if he needs to start saving those for scans, he's going to start to fall behind even more.
Agreed.
So, yeah, really smart move for Tassadar to invest in DTs there. Have to see how well it pans out, of course.
It looks like Select is moving around the side right now. Does pick off one probe in the middle while taking map control with a couple of Marines, but not going to find anything out of the ordinary. Don't know if he wants to take the risk to go ahead and drop as well. Doesn't find a third base out of his opponent, though, so he knows he's on equal bases. And look at that. There's a missile turret up at the front. Do we have a robotics facility down for Tassadar? No, so it's not like there's any threat of a drop.
Yep, that is true. He's just going right for those DTs. He can warp them in and walk them across the map if he wants to. He can use them defensively if he wants to.
Right.
The upgrade's actually looking really good for Select right now. He's already working on 2-2. He's getting his ghosts, so he's definitely, again, kind of like what we saw from Mers. He's taking all the right risks here.
Yeah, and you know what? Oh, but there's nothing back at home. He has the missile turret in place, and it looks like he knows that there's a couple of DTs actually coming, and he's just going to surround those right away. Both the DTs are going to fall here in just a second. I'm sure there'll be a scan. There it is.
Yep. Yeah, very nicely done by Select. He had that engineering base, so it was a very minimal investment for him to have that turret at the front to stay safe. This 2-base Templar tech that Tassadar is going into, though, is something that we've seen a little bit more often lately on the Korean server. It was players like FXO Oz that started doing this pretty frequently, and it's kind of started to catch on. And getting stormed this early is a great, great way to stay alive at this stage of the game.
I've got to say, though, it doesn't feel like Tassadar has protected his lead all that well. He's invested in a ton of tech. He hasn't expanded or anything. And oh my God. Man. And here comes a really big push from Select. There's not a lot here to defend. Finally, some Zealots making their way down, but they're actually trapped in this tiny little choke point.
Yeah, wow. Great move by Select to move in here.
And let's see.
Got an uphill battle.
Yes, he does, but it looks like all the Zealots have gone down. The sentries are quickly dying on the ramp as well. There is going to be no chance that the Psy Storm finishes up in time, and most of those ghosts have gone down. Ladies and gentlemen, Select is now twice the supply of his opponent. There's the GG. He makes the comeback, and he's taken 3 games from NSHoSeo.
Wow, and given Dignitas the lead as well, Select is only 2 games away from an all-kill.